celebrating the birthday of Malcolm X today. We wish him a very happy birthday. And we have a very special tribute this morning from a young man. He's the son of our regular guest, Mark Thompson. It's Menra Mapfumo, and he's going to come bring us a very special presentation.
We will continue to fight the power that sees to never cease. For as long as we have no justice, they shall have no peace. No justice?
No peace!
Happy Malcolm X Day. Malcolm X was born Malcolm Little on May 19, 1925. The fourth of 8 children born to Louise and Earl Little. Louise was a homemaker and Earl was a preacher, who was also a member of Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association. When Malcolm X was 4 years old, the Ku Klux Klan smashed all of his family's windows, causing him to move shortly after the Littles moved into another house. A racist mob set their house on fire. 2 years later, in 1931, Earl Little was run over by a streetcar and killed. Though many believe he was murdered by whites, his death was ruled a suicide, and this prevented his life insurance from being paid to his family. Malcolm X's mother never recovered from the shock and grief of her husband's death. In 1937, she was committed to a mental hospital, and Malcolm X left home to live with family and friends. Malcolm was a smart student. He graduated from junior high at the top of his class. However, when a favorite teacher told Malcolm his dream of becoming a lawyer was no realistic goal for an NIGGER, Malcolm lost interest in school. He dropped out at the age of 13. Malcolm resorted to a life of crime, and by 1946, he was sentenced to prison. To pass the time in prison, Malcolm X read books from the prison library to make up for the years of education he had missed. Malcolm's mother would visit him in prison and discuss his conversion to Islam and his membership in the Nation of Islam. By the time he was paroled in 1952, Malcolm was a devoted follower of the Nation with a new name, Malcolm X. The name Little was a slave name. Malcolm was appointed as a minister and national spokesman for the Nation of Islam. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad also charged him with establishing mosques in cities such as Detroit, Michigan, and right here in Harlem, New York. Malcolm helped increase membership in the Nation from 500 in 1952 to 30,000 in 1963. As membership grew, the FBI infiltrated the Nation. Malcolm X married Betty Sanders, a fellow member of the Nation, in 1958, and they had 6 daughters. Later known as Dr. Betty Shabazz, she became a prominent civil rights and human rights activist herself. Differences within the Nation and the FBI's antics led Malcolm to leave the Nation in 1963 to found the Muslim Mosque, and incorporated in the Organization of Afro-American Unity. In 1964, Malcolm made the pilgrimage to Mecca and received the name El-Hajj Malik al-Shabazz. He also visited Africa and received the name Omawale, which means the son who has returned home. On February 2nd, 1965, Malcolm spoke to students in Selma who are organizing for the very voting rights that are under attack today. While in Selma, Malcolm expressed his support for the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and may have even visited Dr. King in jail. Almost 3 weeks later, Malcolm was martyred at the Audubon Ballroom. Now, the Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz Memorial and Educational Center. Malcolm made us proud of our blackness and our Africanity. He was our shining black prince. We will never forget him. Not only am I Trayvon Martin, I'm also Malcolm X. No justice,
no peace.